Now that Sonic Rumble is officially out globally, it's time for the Sonic Rumble Beginner's Guide. Obviously, the game has changed quite a bit since both pre-launch 1 and 2, and with the game just now being out for a lot of people to check out for the first time, I'm sure it's going to be overwhelming and even confusing for a lot of people, so I think this is going to be absolutely necessary not only to help a lot of people get better at this game, but to also clear up some misconceptions that people may have about the game as well. Let's start with the very basics first. So Sonic Rumble is essentially a 32-player battle royale game, very similar in gameplay to Fall Guys and Stumble Guys, though a lot closer to Stumble Guys because just like that game, it was definitely fundamentally developed to play just like a mobile game at its core and was simply ported over to Steam. I feel like this is really important for you to know because a lot of the mechanics are very mobile centric. Now I can't talk about what the game is like when you boot it up for the first time anymore because it's been so long since I made my account. I don't know if the game still starts with a tutorial, and even if it does, I don't know how different the tutorial is now. I'm sure if it still exists, it's so completely different to how it was in the pre-launches, but assuming you finished up all of that and everything the game sort of guides you to do, like, clicking this mode, doing that, blah blah blah, you have free reign to enjoy the game however you like. First things first, it's important to know, in the menu you can click on the hamburger icon and click on how to play if you ever want to go back and see some different tips that could help you out. The game has 6 different game modes which you can cycle between in the menu down here. Quick Rumble, Ring Survival, some kind of special rumble, squad mode, stage challenge, and custom match. Ring Survival is going to be the mode you spend the most time playing. Here's how it works. Your goal is to survive 3 rounds and collect the most rings to win. The first round is always going to be a run stage. Oh yeah, there are different stage types. We'll talk about those more in depth later. Place within the top 16 players that round or risk getting eliminated, and you get different ring amounts based on your placement at the end of a race. So for example, if you finish in first, you get 1,000 rings as a bonus. The second round is either going to be a survival stage, a team stage, or a hunt stage. The final round is always going to be a ring battle. And again, the player with the most rings wins. Next up is Quick Rumble. Essentially, it's ring survival, but only 1 round, which is fun when you just want to get a quick game in. You need 1 ticket to play a Quick Rumble. You get a maximum of 3 tickets that you can hold, and a ticket generates every 24 hours. So once you use up a ticket, you gotta wait another day to get another ticket. The next mode is Special Rumble, and this one really varies. So sometimes you can have a co-op battle where it's essentially a boss fight with 32 other players. Sometimes you can have modes like Hyper Boost Battle, which is really fun. It's a faster way to play the game essentially. It really just depends. The important thing to know is that these are limited time. You can see how much time is left before the mode goes away. And if you click on the eye, you can also see the exact times when the mode is active during the day. And anytime you play Squad or Special Rumble, you're going to get tokens to complete missions, which also gives you some rewards, so make sure you always check on that. The next mode is Squad, pretty self-explanatory. You get to play with 3 other players, but just like Special Rumble, this is also on rotation, so do keep that in mind. The next mode is Stage Challenge. Essentially, you can replay any and all of the stages that show up in Ring Survival individually. Normal mode is going to be unlocked by default after spending 100 bronze medals to initially unlock the stage. And anytime the level shows up in Ring Survival and you beat a certain objective that the stage challenge is telling you to do, you can spend bronze, silver, or gold medals on them in order to get star promotions, and when you get 5-star promotions, the hard mode of that stage is going to be unlocked. Every time you spend medals to get a promotion, you're going to get rewards, and every time you complete one of these stage challenges on normal or hard mode, whether solo or with a squad, you're going to get really good rewards like red star rings, so be sure to do all of these. I got guides for how to do them on normal and hard mode up on the channel. And last but not least, you can make your own custom game. You could choose between 1 round or 3 rounds. You could choose whatever level you want. It's pretty much up to you. Getting back to what I was talking about earlier, what are the different stage types in Ring Survival? So first, you got Run. Run is basically just a race. You compete against other players to see who can get to the end fastest. Next up, you have Survival. Basically, you need to stay alive as long as possible and just outlive your opponents. Next up, you have Team. You basically have to work with a team to complete some kind of objective and beat the other team. Then you have Hunt. This one might be the hardest to explain because it's so varied, but basically, you're always competing against other players to collect the most score. So for example, Silent Forest Survival, you need to hit as many of those flowers open to get the highest score possible, or there was one round I think where you have to collect more stars before anybody else. So it really does vary. Then you got Ring Battle. You just need to compete with other players to get the most rings. Very straightforward. And that's it for Ring Survival. Co-op Battle is also considered a stage type, despite the fact that it doesn't show up in Ring Survival. It's its own separate mode. Just something to keep in mind because you can equip skills for that mode, and we'll talk about that later. Now let's talk about progression. So as you play through the game, you're going to earn Green Star XP, which allows you to level up all of your passes. This includes the Season Pass, the Event Pass, and the Crossover Event Pass. By the way, crossover events usually always have their own currency, like the Sonic 3 crossover event. You gotta get these shadow tokens, but they're all earnable in-game and they're really easy to get, and you use them for raffles to get more rewards. All of the passes have a free track and a premium track, and you can see what level you're at right here. You're also gonna notice that when it comes to progression, you actually do get capped on the number of rings you can collect in a day. I believe it's 16,000 normally, and with Rumble Plus, it's 32,000. Which is unfortunate. I mean, it does make sense because it is a mobile game, and usually with mobile games, they do cap progression like that, but if they're going to keep a cap like this, I hope they at least increase it. But yeah, as it stands right now, the best way to progress would be to play a few games each day to optimize your time spent on Rumble. By the way, in the top left-hand corner, you could see things related to your player profile, like your player background, your icon, and even your emblem rank. Your emblem rank essentially represents what level you're at in this game. You can increase it by getting more emblem fragments. The higher you place at the end of a ring survival match, the more fragments you're going to get, and as a result, the faster you're going to level up. If you click on it, you can see your scores, the highest ranks you got for each stage, and basically your player record. So like how many times you placed first, how many times you were in the top 3, number of ring survival games, etc, etc. Next up, you got the shop, so all the rings and red star rings you earn, you can use to buy items in the shop like skins, and obviously you can buy the currencies in the shop too. You can also buy skills in the shop, I'll talk about those more later. You should be doing 2 things daily in the shop. Number 1, making sure you claim your free spin. This can really help you get some characters, some rings, etc. And in the ring shop, always buy the first 2 items right away. The daily score booster is really going to help with Rumble rankings, and the daily skin fragment bundle. In terms of progression, in the lobby, there's usually something at the top of the screen like Amy's request or Dr. Eggman's challenge, and in order to level up those to get some really good rewards, you need to get a C rank or higher to earn thumbs up, and the more thumbs up you get, the more your gauge is going to fill up, and you can max it out to earn all the rewards in that day. So yeah, these do refresh every day, so make sure you do them daily. Let me explain how you get ranks in this game, because it is kind of confusing if you're coming from literally any other Sonic game where when you do well at the end of a level, you're going to get a high rank based on how fast you beat the stage or how much score you got. In this game, it works really differently. So I'm sure just like me, you had a really similar first experience to where when you beat the first round of Ring Survival the first time you picked this game up and got a D or a C rank, you were like, wait, what's going on? I'm normally really good at Sonic games, right? Like, how did I get a rank so low? And don't worry, you're good. The problem is, that's just not how the ranking works. It's not based on how well you played that round. It's purely based on how high of a score bonus you got at the end of each round. Let's take a look at Green Hill Run's rank requirements. So you can see that you can go up from a D rank all the way up to an S++ rank, and in order to go up that high, you're going to need as much score as possible. So like here, you need 55,000 just to get an A rank. So now the question is, how do you get more score? Alright, let me explain. The short answer, collect as many skins and buddies as possible, especially high rarity skins and buddies. The long answer, here's how. You collect skins and buddies obviously from the shop. From the menu, you can access your skins and buddies by clicking the Sonic icon on the bottom left. In the character tab, you can see at the top left-hand corner that there's a score cloud telling you just how much score bonus you're going to be getting. If you click on it, you can see the breakdown here, so collect skins and buddies to increase your score bonus. You can see that with all the skins I have 28 common skins, 61 rares, 38 epics, and 6 legendaries, which totals up to about 3,872% bonus. And for buddies, I have 32 rares, 29 epics, and 2 legendaries, which adds up to a 694% increase. And there's also a score bonus during each season. Now you can really drill down into even more detail and click on the eye here to see the bonus types. So you have one, for example, for the base score, you got a placement bonus, you got a victory bonus, ring bonus, so you got different bonuses for doing different things in the game. But personally, I think that's way too much detail. The same thing goes for the increasing your score bonus information icon, which shows you just how much of a percentage your score is going to be increased by if you level up different rarities of skins. It's really good if you're really into that kind of detail, but honestly, the main thing you need to know, get skins and buddies, and the other thing you need to know is level up skins and buddies. Skins and buddies can be leveled up starting from level 1 all the way up until level 10, and all you need are these tune-up wrenches to do so. You'll get tune-up wrenches by playing the game, beating the passes, yada yada yada, etc. Since we're on the customization page, I do want to mention that this is where you can equip your characters, your buddies, your stickers, different victory animations, grind rail animations, emotes. And the most important thing that you need to know here is that depending on the character you're playing, all of that stuff is going to be pre-saved. So for example, if I give Sonic this baseball emote, it's not going to transfer over to Shadow, but if I pick any other Sonic skin, he's going to have that baseball emote. Alright, we still have a few more things to talk about, so I'm going to try to speed it up here. Next up, I think this is probably the most confusing part of the game. How does the ranking system work, like ranked mode, or Rumble Rankings as this game calls it? On the top left-hand corner of the screen, in the menu, you're going to notice an Omo-Chow waving a flag. Click on that to view Rumble Rankings. So here's how ranks work in this game. You're going to start out in the Iron League, and you need to work your way up through the ranks to get all the way up to, I think Chaos Emerald League is the max, I could be wrong. But yeah, you go from Iron to Bronze to Silver to Gold, etc, etc. And here's how you actually rank up. Every week, you need to compete with 99 other Sonic players to get the max score in order to be really high up on the ranking. The higher up in the ranks you go, the more stars you're going to get, and you need those stars in order to progress to the next rank. So let's say you played the whole week and you were able to get up to enough score to be placed 9th on Rumble Ranking. You're in the 20 and above category, which means you're going to earn 5 stars and 950 skill stars. I'll talk about skill stars later, but the 5 stars are going to go up all the way into your rank, which you could see right there. So that means next week, when I place 9th again, I'm going to get another 5 stars, which is going to promote me to the next league. Does that make sense? So basically, every time you're placed in a different part of the Rumble ranking, you're going to earn a different number of stars, and depending on how many stars you already have, you may be promoted or you might not be. And for those wondering, yeah, you can actually be demoted and lose stars for not playing the game, or usually placing really low, like 80 and above. Which means, yes, the rankings aren't really skill-based, they're just kind of like, if you played a lot, or you bought a lot of skins because you have a lot of score, which is really unfortunate. I did try to tell the team about that, but no change as of yet. Hopefully something changes in the future. And for those wondering, yep, that's why this game is not pay to win. It's really just pay to look cool, because you can win all your races. In fact, you can like go on a 10 win streak in Ring Survival, and you could do that easily without spending money on anything in the game. The only thing is you're not going to be placed high on a ranking system, mostly based on how much you play or how much money you spend, which doesn't really matter in the long run. The last thing I haven't touched upon, which is really important, are skills. So skills are actions you can perform in battle, each with various effects for you or other players. Skills let you do things like speed boost, getting as many rings as possible, or attacking other players. There are lots of different types of skills. You've got signature skills, for example, which are character-specific skills, and these ones are usually the best. Skills like Blaze's Burst Hover or Sonic's Finder's Keepers are really useful in run races, and you've also got certain mode-specific skills like survival-only skills, for example, usually shield so that you can protect yourself from getting hit, and you can have 2 skills for each mode, but note that those 2 skills can only be used in that mode once you've used them. You can't use the same skill across all the modes. What I recommend you do when you first start with a new character is click on Quick Skill Assign, and that way it just puts all the skills in all the different modes, and then you can pick and choose which ones you want to keep and remove. To buy or level up skills, you'll need skill stars, and you can buy them from the shop. You get skill stars through passes or just playing the game and doing objectives. And these are really the only thing in the game which you could arguably say are pay to win, but the thing is, you get skill stars really easily. It's really easy to pick up 1 or 2 really good skills for each round, for absolutely free. And you definitely want to get these skills up to max level because they're really good when you get them up there. There's also another really cool social feature in the game called crews. You can access them by clicking on this pirate ship in the bottom left hand corner. You can either create or join a crew, which allows you to team up with 31 other players who usually all share similar interests, like my crew, the Stickman. We all love Shadow, we love gunning for the top, we got flexible commitment and good vibes. You can see your total crew score and your crew emblem, and you can even send stickers or predefined messages to your crew. It's really fun to shadow emoji spam. You can also go on treasure hunts with your crew, so basically, if you're on mobile, you watch an ad and you're going to be taking part in a treasure hunt, and the next day, if all of you guys took part, you're going to get a lot of skill stars, but if only a couple did, then you'll only get a couple of skill stars. That's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope this beginner guide really helped clear some things up, made some of the currencies make sense, made how the mechanics work make sense as well, and let me know if you have any more questions in the comments down below. I'll be happy to answer them, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Major shout out to all the channel members, man. You guys are insane. You keep the channel going, and I really, truly, greatly appreciate your generosity. If you'd like to become a channel member, be sure to hit that join button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.